Thank you so much for joining us here on KEXP, where the music matters. I'm Cheryl Waters, and you are here in our studios with us. We are listener-powered KEXP, supported by you, our listeners. Thank you for making these wonderful sessions possible with artists like one of our faves. In fact, Dave, your family, live here in the studio with Pedro the Lion. Welcome back.
Thanks so much.
You doing well?
Yeah.
Havasu, what a beautiful record.
Thanks.
I'm so excited to talk about it, but you want to play some songs for us first?
Sure, here we go.
Pedro the Lion, live on KEXP.
Desert highways in the heart of a 12-year-old who can't spot misdirection, can't risk more disconnection. Two kids, mom and dad, monsoon out backseat glass, more rain than the cloud can hold. I see you. The storm blows into a flood, then disappears. The thirsty desert floor drinks it in. Miles down below the skin, endless hidden reservoirs. What difference would it make if I could be real with you? I desperately don't want to move to Lake Havasu. Bred to believe, taught to obey, heard the call and moved away. I prayed and cried and prayed, still pissed off, still in pain, still keep it hid and grit my teeth like you showed me. Still hope it's not too late for someone to know me. What difference would it make if I could be real with you? I desperately don't want to move to Lake Havasu. I played the clarinet since 4th grade. It's a long time to wait for love, 'cause ever since Beverly Hills caught the heat is on. I long for the saxophone. My dad's concern was that the embouchure was easy and might make my lips too weak. A woodwind in an orchestra, an experience he wanted for me. After 3 years, it was time to switch to saxophone. But the band director shook his head, forget it. I'm up to my ears in tenors and altos, and you're solid on the clarinet. Well, with tears in my eyes, I looked up at my dad, who looked back at the band director. Don't you have any other opening? He replied, I could use another drummer. I looked at my dad, and he looked at me. I nodded my head, and he agreed to trade in my clarinet to get my first drum set. I couldn't even play a beat yet, but I lugged it back to my room, made it boom, crack, boom, all afternoon. I have no regrets for trading in my clarinet to get my first drum set, to get my first drum set, to get my first drum set. I showed up early to the band room. Heard some kid land the film to a beat. Oh, how I pestered that poor drummer, begging him to show me repeatedly, to play sports about my feelings, the being in my body, not my head. Oh, it still sets my heart a-reeling. I would already be dead without my first drum set. I couldn't even play a beat yet, but I lugged it back to my room, made it boom, crack, boom, all afternoon. I got no regrets for trading in my clarinet to get my first drum set, to get my first drum set, to get my first drum set. All right, here's another one. This one's called Teenage Sequencer. said to meet by the gym after school before volleyball. Your grin poked through the door and we met lips as electric as the kiss was. The way you told me no when I leaned in for another thrilled me more. There goes nature, pulling me along like a sequencer, right on time, turning me into a teenager. Will I always be a teenager now? So I had a hard time falling asleep that night. Then I woke up anxious to get to school and exchange some sweet nothing. But when I saw you in the hall, without an explanation, you called it off. There goes nature, pulling me along like a sequencer, right on time, turning me into a teenager. I don't wanna be a teenager now. Four breakups later, on the last day of school, you pulled me aside and I tried to play it cool. You'd watched me all year and you knew Bill was wrong, and you wished you had stayed through the end of our song. All right, here's our last one. It's called Making the Most of It. If I thought I could wake up, I would, but I don't. Or take a peek beneath the skin. I could, but what good would it do? There's too much under there, and I'm trying to make the most of it, not looking for the perfect fit. most of it. Why does it always come out wrong? Needing a repair. It never comes to stay ever. Almost there on the tip of my tongue. It never goes away. And I'm trying to make the most of it. Not looking for the perfect fit. And I can't go along to get along, but let me know when I can quit making the most of it. Making the most of it. Making the most of it. Making the most of
So lovely. It's Pedro the Lion live on KEXP. How'd that feel?
Felt nice, yeah.
Everybody smiling.
Yeah.
David, you have been releasing records for almost a quarter of a century now.
Yep.
That makes my mind explode. How does that make you feel?
It feels good, like I have more chances left, hopefully, to make more records.
Well, Havasu is one record in a series of planned records that started with your last one, Phoenix, and it chronicles your past homes, and that's such a fun idea. And Phoenix was the first in the series that kind of looked into your earliest memories in growing up. And tell me about the decision to put this collection together and document this time in your life.
I think I was just, I'd go back to these places, Phoenix especially on tour, and there was always kind of ghosts there for me, and I felt like this is just another town. Why does my nervous system shift so much when I get here? And so I just thought, well, I'll start writing about it, maybe exploring, and for me, the only way that I have to organize my energy in any real effective ways through music. And so it turned into a musical project, and I thought, okay, this is one record, and then I zoomed out a little, and I thought, oh no, this is 5 records, at least, but it's just 5.
Can you pinpoint the range, I'm sure, a quite large range of emotions that you felt? I mean, was it sadness, melancholy, joy, ...
I think, I haven't gotten to the end yet, so I'm not totally sure, but I think I just a combination of coincidental factors growing up. I just got really disconnected from myself at an early age, and so I think that I'm slowly finding my way back in that way, and that going through memories from childhood and then later, like adulthood a little bit, seems to be helping in that process a lot. So there's plenty of good, fun, like kid memories, but I think I was trying to connect with the parts of myself that I had kind of denied kind of over and over again.
Well, in order to write your latest record, Havasu, you returned to a place that you lived, I think you said in 7th grade, Havasu Lake, Arizona, and you went there several times, I understand, and it sounds like that trip triggered, or those trips triggered a lot of memories. Can you kind of take us through what those days were like, and did you have places in particular you wanted to visit, or were you just kind of like driving through the town and seeing where it took you, and did you find what you expected there? Had things changed both in the place itself, but also what changed in yourself?
Yeah, I usually would get up before sunrise, like I'd get a hotel or a Airbnb, and I'd get up before sunrise and make a little playlist and just start driving around. I had a couple of spots that I wanted to drive by, or to, like, the where I went to junior high is now Arizona State University, like, extension campus, and so those same buildings, and so I went over there, but basically I would just try to drive around during both morning and evening magic hours, and just collect the thoughts that came. So I'd voice memo, and I think on this record, we all have our own kind of little points of crisis or trauma or whatever. And for me, that year was just the end of, I just began masking pain in a way that I had not done previously, and it just kind of stuck for the rest of, apparently, my life. And so for me, it was going down and realizing, this was kind of like a juncture, like a really important juncture for me. And so the particulars of the place and the particular memories were a bridge to that kind of realization, and then I just had to figure out how to write about the things that I had been hiding for so long, and that was weird, but good.
And has that started to help release some of the pain?
Oh, yeah.
That's wonderful to hear. You just mentioned creating a playlist to drive around for the day, and I understand that Tom Petty was also a companion on at least one of these trips. Tell me how that worked its way into the music.
I was in a place of really deconstructing a lot, and I guess I kind of always am, but and I listened to this Tom Petty biography by Warren Zanes called Petty, and it was like I knew what I felt like was a lot about Tom Petty already. Watched any documentary I could and read a little bit here and there, but this book really, I don't know, kind of touched me. And so then when the book was done, I was really missing that, and at some point, Tom Petty just started talking to me, and it took me a couple of days to decide what to do about that. And so by the time I got to Havasu on that trip, driving around the desert, I was cool with talking back. And so, me and Tom Petty's voice just had a series of very helpful conversations. And, I'm sure that was just my subconscious talking to me in a voice that I would pay attention to, but it was very special nonetheless.
Oh, that gives me goosebumps. You connect Phoenix to Havasu with a beautiful thread reutilizing the guitar riff on the song that closes Phoenix, Don't Want to Move, or into your opening track, Don't Want to Move, which you started us with today. And I love those musical Easter eggs. Tell me a little bit, and it also sounds like you had that planned.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, so we were working on the song on Phoenix Leaving the Valley, and there was always going to be an outro section, and I didn't know exactly what form that would take. And so after I had demoed most of the record, I had Erik Walters, who's playing guitar today with me in Pedro, and Sean Lane, who drummed on Phoenix, come in, and we were working through the bits that were left. And so I was just kind of like, okay, why don't you just play a bunch of stuff, Erik, and we'll see what sticks. And so Erik played that ding, 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 that little riff. And I was like, okay, that's good. Stop right there. And he was like, what? And because he had played a bunch of stuff, but there was this particular thing. And I was like, can you play that over and over again? And within about 10 minutes, we had, I think, figured out, like, okay, this is going to be like a riff that plays. And then I'll find some bass lines to go underneath it. And we figured out the outro of that tune. And I really was happy with it. And then I thought, okay, this is great. This will be the way we open the next one. And it's evocative enough to where the connection will be there, but there's enough space where I can put up all kinds of other chord progressions underneath. And so I worked on it for a while. And, use that lick that Erik had played.
Well, I don't want you to give up any secrets that you don't want to yet divulge, but any connections to the next record, and how much have you thought about that one yet?
Yeah, I've been thinking about them all a lot. There are connections on the next record. It might not be quite the same, like, handoff, but there will be, like, references and parts of songs that will find their way into the next few. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to the next 3, and then whatever comes for you next after that. But for right now, really enjoying Havasu, and thank you so much for coming by today with these 2 talented musicians.
Yeah, this is Terence Ankeny on the drums. Clap, 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 clap.
Hey, Terence.
And Erik Walters on guitar. And I'm called Dave. Yep.
You've got it tuned to KEXP. We are listener-powered radio. We want to thank all of our listeners for supporting sessions like this. You can visit us at kexp.org, find out more about the station and our live stream, and make a donation to support continued sessions like this one with Pedro the Lion. Thank you again so much, all of you.
Thanks, Cheryl.
You're listening to KEXP Seattle.
That was so fun.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.